When did you realize you were dating an idiot? My girlfriend of 4 years was having a substantial stomach and lady issues, while her brother, my age, 52 male, was dying of stomach cancer. Dad had just died of stomach cancer. Her mother was in the throes of multiple cervical and pelvic floor surgeries and always used the excuse of not having insurance as a reason why she wouldn't get things checked out. We sat down and talked about how to pinch pennies and make a concerted effort to afford insurance for her. The very next day, she spent $1,000 on getting her and her three girls new iPhone because the new one was out. That was a wrap. I ended up dating an idiot, as Jay said. I went overseas during junior year of high school, visited Germany, Denmark, France, Belgium, Sweden, and Norway. Got back home and was visiting with my girlfriend, her twin sister, and their father. Father asked me where I went to. After I listed all the countries, her sister said with a very confused voice, "I thought you were in Europe." The father looked at me and said that I was dating the smart one. The twin also had no idea that pipes were hollow. She thought they were solid. Edit. I don't want to call her an idiot. She was a sweet girl, better at sports than school. My ex wouldn't believe me when I told him which route was the fastest to my own damn house. He wasn't a bad man, not at all, but in addition to being tens of thousands of dollars in debt because he just had to get things that he couldn't afford. Yeah. She thought we lived inside of the earth because if we lived on the outside, we all just fall into space. So she said I was an idiot for not understanding how space works. I have many questions. Like, what do you think the sky is? Stars, the moon, satellites, the sun? But in the end, the only one that truly mattered was, why am I dating this person? After being gone for a couple weeks, I returned to our shared apartment and noticed the toilet bowl had not been cleaned. I asked what happened, and he told me that he wasn't going to stick his hand in the toilet just to clean it. We had cleaning gloves and a toilet brush available. In recounting the story, I realized that he was fine thinking I was doing that to clean the toilet, but he was too good for that type of labor. Context that this was probably 15 years ago when manual cars were still very common. I drove a manual car, and one of the first times driving her around, she kept saying, "Why are you doing that?" I was so confused and trying to guess what she meant until she pointed at the gearbox. Whenever I shifted gears while driving, she said, "Stop doing that. It's annoying. Just drive normally." I honestly was speechless and flabbergasted trying to explain to her the difference between a manual and an automatic car. After explaining, she wanted me to teach her to drive like I do in her automatic car, to which I had to explain why she couldn't. I don't think she ever understood it. And now that I think about it, she probably doesn't. But I don't know how to drive a stick, but I still know what that is. When she would say 1,000, I'd say, "You mean 1,000?" She said, "I never learned how to say any of the ones with more than three numbers." The issue more so was that she refused to learn after the fact. Whoa, this blew up. I just got a award for my first comment that ever hit 1,000 upvotes. When I moved in with my girlfriend, we agreed that I would pay one third of the utility bill since she has the teenager that also lived with her and uses a lot of power and water. A couple months in, she asked me to look up her portion of the bill. I said it was 150. She asked me how I remember that. I told her mine was 75 and hers would be double mine. She lost her cool and started going off about how I was supposed to be paying a third of the bill and that she's paying 75%. She literally couldn't wrap her mind around the fact that two-thirds is double one-third. It took me probably close to a half an hour to actually explain it in a way that she understood. And I tried everything, starting with saying that I pay for one person, she pays for two. Two is double one. I would have pulled a calculator out on her in a heartbeat. So many times. Why is the soup you make me so bland? Figured out he'd been eating concentrated soup for years. Had no idea you should dilute it. He was hours late for a date, and this was before sales, so I was pissed. He finally showed up and said his car had broke down, but he had fixed it. Halfway to the theater, the engine started knocking, and the car stalls. He pops the hood and takes a look. He had tied sock, a gym sock around the busted radiator hose. We had just unboxed and assembled a brand new badass Dyson. He turned it on and we picked up random stuff with it, testing its suction. I looked in horror as he raised the hose towards his eye. Time slowed down to action movie levels as I lunged at him to slap it away. He got poison oak, essentially on purpose because I said, "Do not touch that. It's poison oak." Then he scratched everywhere. The doctor said, "Oh my God," when he dropped his pants in the exam room because his groin was so inflamed that it looked like he had red potatoes between his thighs. Oh my gosh. I hope she broke up with him. She didn't say that she did, but I really do. Let's see if she posted anything. Okay, yep. Somebody said concentrated soup, like gelatinous mass of cream of chicken. Yes, he would heat it up though by peeling off the label of the can and then sitting it directly on the burner. When I asked his mother what he was like as a child, she said he was a handful. That was it. Made me feel terrible for him. And someone else asked her, "These feel like a lot of examples over an extended period of time with the same guy. Did you marry him?" I did. Those were over the first years we dated. There are many more. Those are just the nice ones. He was also mean spirited. I didn't mention any of them and dumb ones because I'm not trying to assassinate him on Reddit. I knew when she didn't say it was her ex that she married him. She was still with her boo and his slow ass. At least she knows he's slow to help him out. This is all the same person. There's nothing medically wrong. Are you still with him? Yes. There's nothing wrong medically that's been diagnosed. I have theories. We're married for over a decade, divorced for 18 years now. Top private insurance salesman in his area. He's fine. He had a gym sock tied around a busted radiator hose. I mean, how is that stupid? It worked enough to get him to where he needed to go. For a temp fix, it's pretty good, but it didn't. He made it to the last mile of my house, yes, but he said he fixed it. He didn't say, "Hey, let's skip the movie. I need to get my car fixed." He said, "I fixed it." And then we headed to the movie theater. After he took off one of his socks and tied it around the busted radiator hose that was easily fixed with a clamp you can buy for 50 cents at an auto store. This was 25 years ago. Here's the bottom line. I have pretty basic knowledge of cars in general and would have been able to actually help him, which I did after I saw the engine. But he didn't want to tell me the truth because he was raised to believe women are inferior and me fixing it would embarrass him in front of his dad. I left that out because a sock tied around the radiator hose is funny. Willful ignorance, stupid actions, justified by misguided machismo and pointless pride are just stupid. And we're going to end this right here, guys. As you can see, that there's a lot of people with crazy exes. Not crazy, slow, dumb, idiot exes. So yeah, what's y'all stories with slow and idiot exes? I'm curious to know now because it seems like a lot of people have encountered these types in their life, and some go on to marry that person. But she did say they're divorced now, but she still went and married him even after all his shenanigans. Let me know in the comments if y'all have y'all own stories, and please Like, comment, and subscribe. I will be back next time with another one, y'all. And also, if y'all want me to particularly read anything, please put it in the comments below and I will look them up. All right. Y'all have a good, blessed day.